Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and I'm sure you've all heard by now that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, also known as the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals, has decided that the Second Amendment right to bear arms does not apply once you leave your home. They're saying that the Second Amendment right to bear arms only applies to when you're in your dwelling, and that carrying, either open or concealed in public, is not covered under the scope of the Second Amendment. Today, I simply want to talk about how absolutely ridiculous that is by pointing a few things out. This channel is proud to be supported by the USCCA. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association helps responsible Americans like you prepare for what happens before, during, and after an act of lawful self-defense. USCCA members get life-saving education, expert training, plus defense liability insurance. These benefits provide more than 500,000 USCCA members with the peace of mind that they deserve. Plus, a USCCA membership is always risk-free with their 100% money-back, bulletproof guarantee. Membership is truly an investment worth exploring. Click the most important link you might click ever down below and activate your U.S. Concealed Carry Association membership now. Now, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals gets it wrong a lot. Case in point. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is the most overturned court in the entire country. And my belief is that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is less of a court now and more of like an activist arm of the left wing. So the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals makes a decision based off of an agenda. And based off that agenda isn't always based off the Constitution. Then it goes to another court who actually looks at it through the lens of the Constitution. It doesn't hold muster, so it gets changed and overruled. So the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals gets it wrong a lot because they're not looking at things the right way. And in this case, it seems to me to be one of the most ridiculous. So what I like to do whenever I see a case that would infringe on any of our rights is I look at it in comparison to another right in our Bill of Rights. In this case, we're looking at a Second Amendment case. So I compare it to the First Amendment to see if it would still hold water if you were to apply it to the First Amendment. So if we said that your right to free speech stops at your front door, and you don't have the right to free speech while you're in public, whether it be online or openly speaking, there's no way that would hold up. That wouldn't hold up for a day. It would be instantly shot down. Somebody would put an injunction on it. There is no way that somebody would say you cannot have free speech once you leave your home, whether it's in silence, in writing, on the internet, or if it's open, you talking. There's no way that would fly. So we have equal rights. These are all rights that are just as important as each other. So again, comparing them is a way to say, hey, if it doesn't hold water on this one, it shouldn't hold water on the second either. The Second Amendment does not say the right to keep and bear arms only applies in your house. There is nowhere in there where it specifies location. If you could show me in the Second Amendment where it specifies the boundaries of where it is acceptable versus it's just openly acceptable, then I would love to see it, because I've read it a billion times and I can tell you boundaries are not written into any of our rights. They are constitutional rights that apply to you while you are a citizen of this country, while you are within its borders. You have these rights. And again, it doesn't say once you step out of your home, you no longer have the right to bear arms, or you no longer have the right to free speech, or the right to assemble, or the right to religion, or freedom of press. It doesn't say that any of those would stop once you left your house. So again, you can see right off the bat how ridiculous this is. So let's think about the word bear real quick, okay? Because they seem to have completely forgotten what that means. So obviously we have a right to keep. And in our right to keep, that means that we can store, we can purchase, we can own, we can have. So we can keep arms. But the right to bear is completely different from that, because that means to keep on you. So when you're bearing arms, you have arms on you, and it says that we have the right to bear those arms. So it doesn't say that we can bear arms as long as it's open, or we can bear arms as long as it's concealed either, or what arms we can bear. It just says that we have the right to bear arms. Nowhere in that does it say, here's my front door. Let's just imagine right here is my front door. I have the right to keep and bear arms. Now I step outside of the house, I no longer have the right to keep and bear arms. That is how far the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has gone. So again, we have several rights that are kind of written into the Second Amendment, right? So we have the right to keep, own, and possess. We also have the right to bear. A child could figure that out. My 5-year-old could figure that out. My 5-year-old could understand the basic meaning of something that was written so simply for the basic person to understand, that just in case maybe somebody didn't understand what they were trying to say, they wrote at the end, shall not be infringed. So the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That means don't touch it. It's finite. That's it. We have the right to keep and bear arms. Done. Cut off right there. Still, they think somehow they can read into these mysterious meanings and maybe their mysterious understanding of what the founders were looking at from documents back in England dating to the 1600s, and how were people acting 300 years before the Constitution was even written. And, they go into all these crazy places to come up with these determinations, but in reality, it's just pure, straight up, outright activism. There is nothing else happening here. There's nothing legal about this decision by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. It is 100% complete activism. Now, this affects everybody that's currently under the jurisdiction of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. But try and keep in mind that for all those other kind of left-leaning courts that are out there, they see things like this as possible precedent in the future. So if they have a case that comes before them that's similar to this, they can look at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals and say, well, they made this decision, and so based off that decision and the opinions in that decision, we're going to go ahead and make the same decision. So this has broad implications across the country, not just for those people that are living within the Ninth Circuit. So again, you guys can see that this is a situation that has started out as Mr. Young, who was just trying to get a permit to carry in Hawaii and was denied, and then decided to take it to court because they had in Hawaii, you had to show immediate good cause, right? So you had to show that your life is in imminent danger right now in order to get that permit. And he didn't think that he needed that. So he decided to take it to court, wound its way all the way up to the Ninth Circuit. And so it just looks like a regular carry case, right? Nothing really major, but it's the decisions that come out of these cases that can change the entire country. And that's why we need to take every one of these seriously. There's some people out there that say, oh, you're just talking about this stuff that can never happen because, it's fear mongering. And I hear people talk about guns and gadgets all the time, saying that he's just fear mongering. He's just letting you know what exists. He's letting you know what's out there. And each one of these things needs to be taken seriously because, just like I said right now, we have a simple carry case that this guy was denied a permit. Now, just like that, 1/3 of the entire country was told that the Second Amendment does not cover carry open or concealed out in public. All from one little carry case that came out of Hawaii. So again, it is one of those things where it just goes to show you that all it takes is some activist judges to completely change things in this country, and we can't let it happen. We got to make sure that we take care of each one of these cases that we see and follow it closely and make sure that we provide any input we can if there's ever any type of open period to talk about it. So again, it's absolutely ridiculous what the Ninth Circuit did. I know for a fact that it's going to be appealed. And if this thing ends up at the Supreme Court, hopefully the Supreme Court actually takes a Second Amendment case because they have done a piss poor job lately. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.